Can you make sure you're recording? Thank you. Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay. And I was like, yes, because I love talking about this stuff. This was the one main change I made at year one that completely changed my business. So if you're a coach that has been in this, and please, if I like freeze or anything like that, just unmute yourself. Britt, you've got me. Let me know. Okay, to recap. Okay. So now I lost my track as I was saying that already. Volume, placement. If you're an advanced coach, you might know all of these concepts. If you're a brand new coach, it might go in one ear and out the other or totally over your head. And that is okay. Volume and placement takes multiple times to learn, seeing it different ways, having different people explain it to you, viewing different strategies. So don't worry if you don't understand this. The best part is you at least got exposed to it early so that when you get to that stage, you're like, oh, okay, there's something here I need to learn a little bit more. And that's when you do true stuff, you need it. A new coach, you don't need to know advanced concepts, but when you get to that place in your business, yes, you do, okay? So I tested this and it worked. When I showed my screen, let me just do, you know what? No, I want to show you something else first, actually. Okay. Before I start doing my diagrams, I want to show you something else. That is weird. Zoom is asking me to.
Do I have to give you privileges?
I think so, to share my screen.
Make us host. Boom. There we go.
Okay, so I should be good now, hey?
Yeah, try that.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, you're golden, Morgs.
Okay, so I'm going to go to my online office and I'm quickly just going to show you where you're going to see some of this information. So that when I'm going through it, you're not like, oh my gosh, where do I find this stuff? So when you log into your online office, I will show you. You are going to go to Monitor My Business and you're going to go to Team Volume. So that's where you're going to be able to see your right and left leg volume every week. You're also going to be able to see your PV, that's your personal volume each week. So for example, to be an active coach, you need 50 PV within the past 5 weeks. So that's where you can see that. Then when we start talking about cycles left and right, that's where you can see this here. Obviously, my numbers, I have numbers. Zeros on each side. If I go back to my beginning, page 13, I'm going to have zeros on both sides too. So just remember, we all have that starting point. You're also going to find your volume for your current week. If you're just on your home dashboard and you just go to the volume tab, you're going to see it for the current week right there, as well as carryover. I'll briefly talk about carryover too. When it comes to placement, Monitor My Business, preferred placement. That is where you can set your placement before a coach signs up. So say Mary is going to sign up tomorrow and you want her on your left leg, you would come in here, set preferred placement. The placement ID would be blank. Say you're a new coach, this is your first coach you're signing up, placement ID would be blank. You'd sign them up on your right or left leg, okay? The placement ID I will cover once I get to my you would use that placement ID. Okay, that's where I decide who goes on what leg. I go to sponsorship drill down. I like to view it in the rank audit analysis view just because I find that's easiest to view. It reminds me of the old online office and how it was laid out. Sometimes this screen takes a little bit to load, so I usually go to rank audit analysis view. I can see my coaches on my left, my coaches on my right, where I want to place different coaches. Again, this was 0. There was nobody in here when I started, so everybody has that starting point. Okay, so that is where we find stuff. I will come back to it. So I'm going to stop share, and I'm going to flip my screen and you guys are going to let me know if you can hear me.
Mort, quick question.
Yep.
It kind of blacked out when you said about preferred placement and the coach ID. And when you actually like are going to go into that in the conversation, it was like a cliffhanger. It's like, when is she going to talk about that? So I just wanted to clear that up for everybody.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry about our internet's a little bit glitchy, it seems, in the new house, but I will cover that preferred placement part when I do it on my diagram here. So I'm going to, Britt, I'm going to need your help on this. You're going to have to let me know when the angle is correct. So I'm going to be drawing.
That's perfect.
Piece of paper right there. Okay. So you can see this little person.
Yep, you're golden.
Okay. So we are going to go into talking. Let me pull up my calculator so I can do that with you guys too. Okay. So when it comes to placement, as a new coach, you sign up, it's just you. Perfect, right? The first real step of placement, you can still hear me good? Everything's good?
You're good.
Okay. The first real step of placement is an emerald coach, right? That's one coach this is the left, one coach on the right. Okay. So when you do this, when you're a new coach, when you first sign up, the online office will actually typically automatically place one on each side if you don't go in and set your preferred placement. However, I still recommend go in, set your preferred placement.
Morgs, can I stop you for 1 sec?
Your necklace is getting us.
Necklace is getting
We're all getting hypnotized here. Everyone is going to be asleep in a second.
Sorry, guys. My necklace was hanging in front of the screen. So, I recommend still into your preferred placement, set your coach right or left. Two coaches, that's it. So next stage would be a diamond coach. And you guys know that's 4 coaches on each side. And one of those has to be an emerald coach. Okay. So obviously you're not responsible for placing those coaches. That coach places its own coaches to be emerald, right? So that's a diamond coach. How do I recommend you get to diamond? Honestly, I would say just alternate right or left with your coaches because you really never know who's going to take off. You can pay attention to the volume, but I personally would just alternate. Britt, I see you on my big screen. Does everybody else see me on their big screen? Is this okay? Yeah? Okay, Stacy's giving me the thumbs up. Good. If you want to get strategic here, you can look at with what's your strong weak leg. So that way, what I have people do, I have them screenshot their volume for me. So screenshot where I showed you in the online office, show me your volume on your right and left leg. If you're even on both sides, or you're just 0 on both sides, yes, alternate. If you have a really strong leg with volume and a weak leg, okay, we could start to talk strategy, maybe putting more on your weak leg or doing your weak leg first once you get to emerald. But honestly, I don't recommend diving too deep into volume until you're a stable diamond coach. What does stable diamond coach mean? I would recommend at least 2 emeralds on each side. So if one falls rank, you don't have to worry about the other, and a couple extra active coaches on each side. That would be my focus for any coach. Obviously, get to emerald first, because then you can start benefiting from teams that we'll talk about. Then, obviously, diamond, then diamond. Once you're at stable diamond, that's where I would highly recommend talking with your coach or even me about volume, about strategy. Okay, how can we take this to the next level? So when you're looking at this, when you are looking at yourself, you're a stable diamond coach, okay? I'm just gonna say you're a stable diamond coach. So how do team cycles work? This is gonna be my strong leg. This is gonna be my weak leg. For every 200 volumes you see in your online office to every 100 you see in your online office, you cycle one time. For an Emerald coach, it's $14. For a Ruby coach, $16. For a Diamond coach, $18. That right there is why I say Diamond and Stable Diamond is where you want to get to. Because for the exact same cycle you're making for, and yes, that doesn't seem like much, but you're going to be cycling eventually multiple times, okay? And I still remember the very first time I cycled for $14. I was the happiest camper ever. So once I learned this process, I kind of set a goal for myself. I told myself I really wanted to earn $1,000 in cycles in a week. I made about $1,000 as a teacher per week. So I thought, okay, I want to earn $1,000 a week in cycles. Why do I say cycles? Because cycles are more reliable. Commission comes and goes. It's going to fluctuate significantly. That's why as a new coach with not much volume yet, you're not going to necessarily have that stable income because it's just commission. It's just based on when you sell things. So I want to earn that $1,000. How to break that down? How do I know what kind of volume is going to come from what kind of volume to that 1,000? Okay, so I'm going to assume I'm a Diamond coach. So I take 1,000, I divide it by 18, that equals 55 cycles. I need 55 cycles to earn $1,000. So 55 times 100 is going to be 5,500 on my weak leg. 55 times 200 is going to be 1,100 on my strong. So I need, 11,000. 11,000 on my strong leg, and I need 5,500 on my weak leg to cycle 55 times to earn me $1,000 per week with team cycles. So when I look back at that week on my volume in the Coach Online office, I would need to see this at the end of the week. So Wednesday night and this on the other side, Wednesday night. That means when the pay is out next Thursday, I would have $1,000 on my paycheck when you read it under the team cycle bonus section. If your legs are even, I'm going to show you a chart after when I share my screen that's going to explain how to figure it out even as well as more dollar amounts too. A chart that you can keep on your computer, on your phone, that really helps you just see and set numbers so you don't have to do math if you're not a math person. Okay, so that, and the reason I also put that too is $1,000 a week, that's $52,000 per year. That's significantly more than I made as a teacher. So that was my big goal. And I remember setting that goal and thinking that is so far off because I literally have 0 on each side, but it starts to happen. Next, placement. So you're on the top and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have an emerald here. Maybe you have another emerald here. This guy's emerald and this guy's emerald. And you've got a couple extra coaches here. So you are a stable diamond coach. Now we can start playing with placement a bit more. So I'm going to go through basically what I kind of did. So first of all, I did not sign Steven up right off the start, which was just a mistake on my part. However, I had a coach up here, let me use a pen, really close to the top that had let me know she was counting. So what I actually, there's a form on a coach that's canceling can transfer their business center to a new coach, a new person signing up that's never been a coach before. So in that case, Trisha was able to transfer her business to Steven, so he got higher up because I already had multiple coaches signed up beneath. So he got transferred into a spot higher up. So just a side note there. So he was higher up. Then I decided once you hit 2-star diamond, you can open up a second business center. So basically, you are a coach under yourself. You can earn paychecks from both accounts, just like your spouse. Your Success Club points roll up. So all my orders, everything goes through my second CBC, but they simply just roll up all together. So I'm going to assume, where do I want to put this? Let me think. Okay. So I'm going to say this is Stephen. This is Stephen right here. So I'm going to show you what I should have done and what I didn't do. So I was ready signing up my second CBC. He was an Emerald coach. I actually went ahead and put it on his outside leg. So Stephen's here. It went just straight down on his outside leg, when I could have actually placed it on his inside leg. Okay. So this is where that preferred placement comes into play. So when I'm placing a coach, so I sign up a coach, Morgan, my PS coach, it doesn't anymore have to go on the left leg or the right leg. If it's 500, I could put 500 in that placement ID spot, and I could say left leg. So that new coach I sign up could get signed up over here, not on the outside leg anymore. Why does that matter? That's still my PS coach, but that coach is now contributing to volume. So he already had volume on his outside leg, which again, I don't know why I put my second CBC there, but that was just the case at the time. Now I'm contributing to volume on his other leg so that he can then start cycling to that 200 to 100, and I'm helping grow both sides. So I'll draw that out again. That's confusing. So this is me. This is this side. So typically, if this is Stephen, when I add coaches, my PS coaches, they would just keep going to his outside leg, which is great. That's what you want to build initially. But then I had the opportunity to place on his inside leg. So I would enter his placement ID, say it's 500, and I could say left leg. They would go here. That would start to build volume for him. Say this is his weak leg, this is his strong leg. That would start to build volume so he could then cycle as well. The benefit here is this is still my weak leg. It doesn't matter if that coach goes out here or in here, they are still contributing to my weak leg volume. So it's kind of like double dipping. So I can benefit from the volume through Stephen's account or my second CBC, because this is the same situation with a second CBC. I can benefit through that. And then I can also still benefit it through myself, through my goal that comes into play. I know Jen has Jimmy on her strong leg. So that could be the same case for her. Jimmy's on her strong leg. She could place on the inside of him too. I don't know where Jen's second CBC is. Again, you're going to have to look at the volume situation at that time you're signing up your second CBC or spouse to see the benefit of where to put them. Inside strategy. Okay, I covered that. Okay. You can throw any questions at me while I'm on my drawing board if you want. This is making sense, everybody? Yes?
Yes, this is awesome, Morgs. And everybody, just so you know, you get that. I don't know if it's like super clear to like a lot of our new coaches, but once you hit 2-star, so you have 2 diamonds on either leg, that's when you get to sign up that next. I'm not sure if we like kind of missed it at the start, but that's when you get to sign up like the second Brittany. And then that's where all of this like cool game playing comes. And I think what's super powerful, especially if you're a brand new coach on this call, this is showing you the epic potential of where this is all going to go. So keep this as like that tool in your toolbox and really dive in and listen to this. So just wanted to like clear that up for anybody as well.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll just summarize here, and then I'm going to flip myself around and cover a few more things. So basically, you're a brand new coach, right? Your main goal is first placement strategy is simply just emerald. Really simple, right or left leg. Okay. Obviously, diamond. Ruby's in there too, but lots of times people skip that. It's diamond. You can start to potentially cycle at $18. Alternate right and left. If you really want to get into it, you can talk to your coach about what your volume looks like and if you should do one leg before the other after emerald. But emerald is a must. That's the first step no matter what. You cannot cycle until you're an emerald coach. Income will only be commission. Emerald, you can start cycling, then diamond, then you want to get to stable diamond because you just don't want to have to worry about dropping rank, all that stuff. It happens obviously to everybody, but it's just easier if you're stable diamond. So emerald, diamond, stable diamond, then start looking at your volume. Left leg versus right leg. What does that look like for you? Is it even? Do you have 100, 100 kind of like, or is it uneven? Are you seeing like 500 and okay, what do I do from there? Well, I probably want to start loading this weak leg, add my next many coaches over there so I can start to grow this volume to catch up to this side. That's where carryover happens. So if you have a lot of volume on this side, 500, but not very much on your right, that's where you're going to have carryover volume. So that volume will be there when you're ready to use it, when you have this 100 on this side. Okay. So if I only have 50, I can't cycle. So that 500 is just going to sit there. If you go inactive, all that volume will disappear. Okay. What else do I want to say? Okay. Then from there, the other concept is starting to grow inner volume. However, again, I would wait. I would talk to your coach, talk to me. Do not that too early. That is like a super advanced placement strategy that should only come. You have quite a bit of volume on your outside legs already. You're cycling at quite a high dollar amount. You have a spouse account or you're about to open up a second CBC as a 2-star coach and you want to know where to place it. That's when you start to dive into more of that inner leg strategy. I probably wouldn't recommend diving into it, obviously, like I said, too early. 2-star or significant team cycles, significant dollar amount, you can start to look into that. Emerald coaches cap at $250 in team cycles. As an Emerald coach, you can only earn $250 in team cycles. So what does that look like? 250. What do I want to do? 250 divided by 14. So that's about, give or take, 17 cycles, 70 times 100. So that's going to be 3,400 on my strong leg versus 17 times 100 versus 1,700 on my weak leg. So as an Emerald coach, that's what you should be aiming for. You should be aiming to cap out in dollar amounts at whatever your rank is. That's why when sometimes you hear people say, oh, do you build for rank or do you build for volume? You build for both at the same time. That's how this compensation plan was created. That's how this business thrives, okay? Ruby coaches. So even if you have more than this amount of volume and you're only an Emerald coach, you miss out on it. And it doesn't roll over. If you cap, that volume does not roll over, okay? As a Ruby coach, you cap at 1,000. That's what you should aim for. As diamond, 2,000 goes that before. So a diamond coach, 2,000 times 52 weeks in a year, that's just cycles, no commission. That's $104,000 per year as a diamond coach. not a 5-star, not a 10-star, not a 15-star, 100 grand, a 6-figure income as a diamond coach. That is possible. And that's what I want you to keep in mind. And the cap amounts just keep going up from there. So 1-star is 3,000 cap, 2-star is 4,000 cap, et cetera, et cetera. The highest you can get is 10-star, and it caps at 12,000 in team cycles per week. US, yeah. 11 to 15-star, there's no increase. Obviously, you would just get the 15-star bonus. And when you have multiple CBCs, so CBCs are centers, business. So as a 2-star, you would have 2 business centers, right? 1 and 2, you are going to earn a paycheck from both, right? Just like you earn an additional one from your spouse. And briefly on that, another place to earn an income are the Star Diamond bonuses. So once you hit 2-star, there's a bonus for, I don't even know what the dollar amount was this past time. Does anybody know what they were? No?
It was 900 Morgs.
900? Okay. So every quarter, Beachbody gives out Star Diamond bonuses to every coach who was 2-star for at least 6 weeks in that quarter, 5-star, 10-star, 15-star. So for the 2-star one, it was 900. For the 5-star one, I don't know. It was probably around, what's it usually around?
It was like 3 grand.
The 5-star bonus? Yeah. Okay, so like 3 grand. So say you are a 5-star diamond coach. You held 5-star for 6 weeks of that quarter. You earn both. That quarter, you would get an extra $3,900 in your bank account. Okay, so 15-star, I think totaled up, it's often around like 40,000 to 60,000. I've even seen it higher than that. It just depends how many people there are to spread the money. You get all of those, which total anywhere from 40 to 60 grand, and that's each quarter. So there's 4 quarters in a year. So just a little side note on that. All right. I'm going to flip myself around. Okay. Oh, Jen put in there. Awesome. Thanks, Jen. So volume, the 100 to 200, placement, emerald, diamond, solid, looking into inner placement when you get there. What else? Okay, let's talk, what do you do now? So you understand placement volume, which you probably don't yet. That's okay. What I did, like I said, I set a goal. I wanted to earn $1,000 in team cycles. And I knew exactly what needed to be on my strong leg, what needed to be on my weak leg. And that's what I pushed for. I did that once I was a stable diamond coach. I had an extremely strong leg and an extremely weak leg. I ended up loading my weak leg with coaches for probably half a year. Now I'm paying for it because I don't have any diamonds to get my balance on that leg. But anyways, that's what started to grow my weak leg. The thing about volume is it's slow, exponential. An exponential graph goes like this, and then it goes like this. And that's exactly how volume works. It took me forever to get to 500, and then 1,000, and then 5,000, and it'll slowly get going. But it works like this. You sign up one coach on that side, then that coach signs up a coach, then both of those sign up a coach, and it grows exponentially, and that's how volume gets going. Yes, Brittany and Jamie are just saying tons of volume training on YouTube as well. Yes. So I would set a goal first and foremost. Okay, I'll come back to that. Yes. Set a goal, first of all. Second of all, how you've got your goal. Now, how do I grow that volume on each side? So I did this around the year mark, and I had to check a little bit. I was very good at fitness, at selling challenge packs, at getting challengers, but I was not very good at getting coaches. So after talking with some success partners and all that, I came to the conclusion that the reason that is because that was all I shared about. All I shared about were workouts. All I shared about were challenge packs. All I shared about was becoming a customer. And that's what I attracted. That's what I put out there. That's what I invited to. That's what I did fit clubs about. I did fit clubs back in the day. I did a lot more in-person stuff because my social media was not that big. It was all customer based. So at that year mark, I made a shift to put out there more about coaching. And that's what I started to attract more and more. And that's how I started to grow the volume. So yes, signing up your own coaches and helping those coaches succeed. Not every coach is going to be a rock star. We'll have discount coaches. You have coaches that will stay at Emerald. And then you have those few coaches that get to Diamond, get to 2-star, get to above. And from our Keith Callahan call back in the day, like he said, you need 5 leaders to really completely transform your business. And honestly, you need 2 to start off, 1 on each leg, because that's going to grow your volume on each side. And you never, ever, ever know who that person is going to be. Jin's on my strong leg. She was like, go for it right off the start. She was hard into coaching. Kirsten is on my weak leg. Kirsten signed up to be a discount coach with me after I asked her multiple times. She remained a discount coach for a year. At that year mark, she decided to slowly ease into coaching. This past year or two, her business has exploded. Could I have planned that? No. Not for the whole year, she was a discount coach. So never count people out. You just never ever know who's going to produce that volume. So set the goal. Transition to, yes, customers, but focusing on coaches as well. And I like to think of it like this. What did your coach do to attract you into coaching? Why were you attracted to them? What triggered you to sign up? Obviously that worked for you, so it's going to work for other people. So just think about that and just go out and do more of that essentially. So I think that is it. One more thing, and then I'll answer the questions that are in the chat too. Morgs, how do I sign more coaches? How do I sign more customers? To me, it's a funnel, okay? Wide at the top, narrow at the bottom. When you're a coach, your funnel is empty, okay? So nobody's going to drop out. It was the same for me, and for every new coach. The whole point of this business to me is the foundation of this business is filling my funnel so that gradually 1, 2, 3 people begin to drop as either customers or coaches. So how do I get more customers or coaches? I need to fill my funnel. How do I do that? Multiple ways. I need to expand my network on social media, friend requesting, adding, reaching out to people, thanking them for watching their stories, thanking them for liking your transformation post. And to the current followers you have, making sure you give them value, recipes in your stories, book suggestions, whatever it may be. To me, that funnel, those people I put in there typically are the people that drop in 1 year from now. So add somebody to your network, that person, they're not going to drop right away. They're not going to drop right away. The odd person might, but it's going to take probably a year of them sitting in there, watching you, getting value from you for them to actually drop as a customer or a coach. Does that make sense? Yeah. Warm market people, my first 5 people to join me when I got started, I was not an expert at all. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I didn't want to present myself that way. So I reached out to 5 girlfriends and said, hey, I'm doing this fitness challenge. Do you want to do it with me? That was literally the first few people I helped. That's how I did it. Because I couldn't just go on social media with my 90 Facebook friends and think I was going to hit Success Club 5 or 10, right? So I reached out to 5 girlfriends and that's how I got started. So it's filling that funnel, that's your foundation, and gradually those people are going to drop once you build relationships with them, provide value to them. I am going to just quickly over these questions. Marie, can you break down 11,000 strong by what it looks like product-wise, 55,000 weak leg? That never has been my strong leg product-wise. I know there are some trainings out there that break it down, like how many Shaco orders this is, how many blah, blah, blah this is. That never really ever like made a ton of sense to me. I was just like, I need to add to both sides. That was kind of all I was focused on. And then the volume gradually came. But there are some trainings out there that will break it down that specific way product-wise for you. What's your recommendation?
That makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, how do
you guys, I snapped this from, I think it was one of Lindsay Matway's training once upon a time. It's in my file, and I'll put it into the Limitless team page. It is like you put in your income goal, and it's an Excel file, and it breaks it all down for you and tells you how many Shakeology orders you need on your left leg and how many you need on your right leg to achieve that like $200, $500 or whatever. So I'll make sure that I toss it into the chat for you guys, or into the team page.
Perfect. And this, sorry, I forgot to show you guys this chart too. This I can toss into the team page too. This, if you're not good at math, will help you break it down. So for example, say you're a diamond coach and you want to earn $2,000 weekly team cycles. Okay. You're cycling at $18. That's 112 cycles. Total team volume, that's just your right leg and left leg combined. You need 11,200 on your weak leg plus 22,400 on your strong leg. Or if your legs are even, this is where like you can't really do math. You need 16,800 on each leg. Okay. That will give you that 104,000 for a year. So this really helps you stay in that cap, that 250, that's 14 per cycle, that's 18 cycles. You need 1,800, 3,600, or 2,700 on each legs if they're even. Okay, that gives you 13,000 for the year just as an Emerald coach. Makes sense? Yeah. Okay, I'll post this chart. This is good. I got this chart years ago, and I've just always had it on my computer just to set some goals. It really helps it break it down volume-wise because sometimes the math just gets a little bit confusing. So I'll stop sharing that. Okay, what's your recommendation for Emerald if we have one really, really strong leg and one weak leg? Still go back and forth. You could either load 4 coaches on your strong leg first, or sorry, your weak leg, my apologies. Load those next 4 coaches to get to diamond on your weak leg, then go back and put the 4 on your strong. However, like I said, you never know who is going to end up coaching way too. But once you get to solid diamond, I do recommend loading your weak leg if it's a significant difference. Push for diamond, then stack your weak leg. Exactly, Jen. If you're even, keep alternating. Are you finding more success with your What is Coaching webinar instead of a different sneak peeks, instead of just direct them to that webinar and go from there? Personally, Julianne, I am right now. Facebook sneak peeks, sometimes they work for me. They're really, they've so with me. For me, that webinar has been working really, really good. Feel free, anybody, to use it. There's other ones out there. When you're ready, make your own. Always feel free to use absolutely anything of mine because I probably usually got it from somewhere else too. Can you share this with us, please? The webinar. Into your volume. How do you find people to follow? Okay, so contributing to your volume. So if you are in the online office, you're in that volume tab, you can see your right leg, you can see your left leg. They're blue. Anything blue you can click on. Okay, so you click on that number, you can literally see every single coach, all their volume, and you can do it on Wednesday night so you can see how many are actually contributing to that volume. You might have 50 coaches on that leg, but only, I don't know, 15, I don't know, are contributing to your volume that week. So it just depends, but you can click and you can see. How do you find people to follow? So, I mean, there's tons of trainings out there, but honestly, the way that I'm liking right now are going into the followers of pages I like. So there's a baby clothing company from Canada that I really like. So I've been going into their followers, people to keep with. If they follow me back, great. who watch my stories and just saying, I legit am like to reach out to a few people who watch my stories each day. Today was you. If you ever want a podcast, book, or workout recommendation, never hesitate to message me. Boom. Simple as that. Again, these are cold market people. Yes, that's how I mostly grow my business now. That's not how I grew my business at the start. Yes, right off the start, I was expanding my network online. However, knowing that those people probably wouldn't drop down the funnel for at least a year. Okay, so off the start, I brainstormed a list of names every single month. Okay, for example, Virginia was somebody who actually did reach out to me from a social media post. Kirsten was on a list. When 21 Day Fix launched in February 2014, she was on my list of 15 people to message to do it with me that month. That's how she got started. That's pretty much how most people got started in my first year or two. Okay. I understand that volume gets carried over, but I don't understand when it gets paid out, because when I look at my pay and see my team cycle bonuses and compare that to the week's volume, it seems accurate and doesn't seem like I am getting my carryover volume. Cassie, we can dive into that more specifically if you want. I can look at your exact numbers. Yeah, I can look at your exact numbers with you. Okay, we're going to wrap that up right there. But this is a topic I love talking about. It's a lot to cover in one call. It will get easier the more lessons you watch. I do have some on my online training. If you've ever seen that website, there's some on there too. But never hesitate to reach me, screenshot me your rank, let me know the situation, and I can give my feedback to you. Like I said, I love to talk about this stuff. Post in our team page. Even it helps if I can answer in there so that other people can see the answer too. I think that's it. So we're going to wrap up. Diamond, stay on. Everybody else, you can log off. And thank you for joining. We'll see you guys later.
For that, Marks. That was really good.
Was my internet super choppy or not too bad?
You were fine. I kind of like when it goes a little robotic. It keeps us fresh.
It's like, keeps your brain going, trying to make out what I said, right? So basically for you, plastic 50s here, I just wanted to open it up because I know once we get done, 2-star, etc., like more harder examples come about and you guys understand it a bit more and want more strategy. So I just wanted to open it up, talk about any situations you have, any questions you might have, more advanced volume placement situations.
Yeah, I've been, okay, so like a year ago, I looked into it and then I realized, I guess, that I was pushing for 1-star. And so I got that goal under control. And then now I'm going back at looking at my stable diamond and my volume, because I would love to be one of those diamonds that cap out. Honestly, that would be a huge goal of mine, but I'm nowhere near it. My team cycle bonuses are small. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to figure this out. I talked to Jake's story a little bit. One of my problems is a little different, and that's why I thought I would bring it up in the way that I'm quite balanced. And so I, with Jake's advice, actually am looking at each week's volume to like where I sit to place a coach that I signed up that week. I'll sort of look back in the months, which gets tricky to try and figure out where I'm placing. So I wasn't sure if anybody else had that same situation and maybe could learn from looking at that volume versus like an overall picture.
Honestly, if you're even, I'd keep it simple and just alternate, because it doesn't even matter, because the coach you sign up might not do anything anyways, right? Like you just never know. So I personally, if I was even, I'd alternate.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Like a lot of it was to keep a diamond strong, and then it was like, hey, well, I'll just go back and forth, make sure that's all strong. And now that that's sort of stronger, it was like, oh, okay. But again, the recruitment you said earlier of coaches for me is huge, because I also relate to the fitness side of it and that push versus the coaching push. And so I know that sharing more of that will only help me.
Yeah, it was completely like light bulb moment, completely changed my entire business for sure.
Thanks for that.
I have a question. I feel like my whole complete structure is really jumbled. Like when people signed up, when I first started signing up people, I literally just let them sign like left and right. And I wasn't really looking until probably a year later. And I have like coaches that are placed in really terrible spots, I suppose. Like I didn't just build the outside. I have like a really messed up tree. Like I have, and I want to know moving forward, because I just signed up a couple more coaches this week, and right now I'm trying to balance out. My left side is definitely stronger than my right. I have like good, solid, probably 2 girls that are going to go diamond on my left. And so I have a couple girls now, solid emeralds on my right. And I haven't even worked my husband's account yet. And I'm feeling like I'm really behind. Like part of it was he did not want to work it. I'm going to just share, bringing him on Success Club trip was like the best thing I could have done for my business, because he really understands more. So my question would be, and I have talked to Jake, and I showed him like just the mess of coaches that I have. And then I have coaches, let's say, that are in the top part of my downline that have like closed their account. If they've closed, let's say 3 or 6 months ago, is that spot available to place somebody in there? No. Okay. So does that become just dead space? Like, does it screw up things? That's what I want to know.
It just rolls. It's just dead space. That's why I honestly never look at that genealogy with the little people. I've never even looked at it since I started.
It gives me a headache. Like
I know some people. Yeah, I know some people like to do placement that way. I don't. It's too much. I don't like
because
it.
I took a piece of paper once and tried to like put it on paper, and it made me really depressed, because I was like, holy, am I screwing up? Like, and I don't have the right people in the right place. And like, should I always be putting people to the outside? Like even now, I guess that's my question.
Maybe screenshot me your volume and whatnot, and post that in the diamond page. And then tomorrow or the next day, I can evaluate it and look at it from there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Morgan, I have a question about what you were saying. If we have a coach that is going to cancel, we can place someone else in there before they cancel?
Yeah, so both parties would have to fill out and sign a form. So the coach canceling, in this case, it was like a Trisha and Steven both had to sign that Steven was taking that spot. And Steven could have never been a coach before. So essentially you only really want to do that for somebody like a family member, or like that it's going to really benefit them for being there. Like otherwise it's just a pain to do that extra part.
Okay, because but like you were saying, it's a really big gift for a new coach to take on, because I have a girl who hasn't been coaching for 2 years now, and she was my first coach. I signed up 3.5 years ago. So she's at the very top, and I can see her just canceling it and not even telling me. So yeah, I'm going to give her a heads up to let me know if she does do that.
Right, because you put a person in there, I mean, they've got a strong leg automatically. They still have to rank advanced to even benefit from it and build their weak leg, but it is a little bit of a benefit.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We look pretty good. Awesome. So you guys are all diamond coaches, obviously. Like I said, first goal is really just make sure you're a stable diamond. Second goal, look at your volume on your right and left leg and strategize a bit. If you've got a weak versus a strong leg, start loading your weak so you can start benefiting from that. If you're even, alternate. If you are volumes and it's pretty good, income from team cycles is pretty good, you can start considering doing the inner leg of your spouse account, or if you're 2-star, that inner leg of the 2-star account as well. Okay. But again, that's kind of just make sure you're at the spot to be able to start doing that part.
I kind of have a question. Amanda, type your question out as well, and then we'll get to that. K-Morgs, this might be a question to like message you and Steven about. But so my weak leg at the very top is my mom.
Yeah.
On my strong leg is Sam, who's like one of my big business builders, and my second CBC, because I wanted to like control at least 2 diamonds on either leg.
Yeah.
If I, for now on, so right now we're getting close that basically my legs are even. I'd say we're getting close. Before I was very uneven, and now I'm balanced out quite well.
Okay.
Would it be more beneficial to put the new coaches on the inside leg of my mom's account that I run, or which would be the weak-ish leg, or put the new coaches under the strong leg under my second CBC inside leg?
Is your mom's income going to her or to you?
Me.
Okay, so I am in a similar situation with my dad, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say I would personally go weak leg of your second CBC and start growing that to grow your team cycles for your second CBC too, because yeah, especially if you're even right now, if you start to get really strong weak again, I'd go back to your weak leg for sure. And look at your mom's volume too. Make sure you know which is her weak and strong leg, because sometimes the inside isn't always the weak, right? Sometimes it'll flip flop. So look at her volume too. But I'd probably do second CBC. I'd kind of worry about yourself first.
Okay. And then this is just back to the basics. So my placing on my second CBC on the inside leg, that would still be considered like my left leg personally sponsored coaches, right?
Exactly. Yeah. As long as you sign them up under CBC 1, you give them that ID. But in the online office, in that section, you enter second CBC name, whatever the inside, that'd be the right leg.
Yep.
Still, yes. So that's still sponsored by CBC 1. Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have one more question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
If you place, because I just learned about this year too, and my whole team is like, Ray, how did you not know about this? But whatever, volume is a hard one. Know about a lot of other things. I just learned this year also to place my coaches on my left leg and sponsor them left and place them on Brandon's inside.
Yep.
Didn't know about that, so kind of kicking myself for that one, but whatever, live and learn. Is it a disservice to a coach who decides to work the business at a different point if they're on it? Yeah, it is, because it's an inside dead leg then. So then
See, this is the situation. Yeah. That's why I caution people to do the inside leg. Do the inside leg if you're going to grow the inside leg. Like, don't place one coach there and then be like, okay, I'm not growing the inside leg anymore. Because like plenty of coaches have come from dead legs. I mean, successful, that's not going to stop them. Like, yeah, me, May, Angie Belmar, like they were all dead legs. So that's not going to stop them. But I mean, it's not like the best choice. But if you are going to grow that side and add more than one coach, for sure. You're not going to put all your coaches there, but gradually you'll add. Yeah, then that's fine.
Because I've heard that a lot.
Live and learn is right. My second CBC is not where it should be, but it is where it is.
Yeah, and there it stays.
And there it stays.
Is my audio working now? Yeah, okay. I just have a question. My husband's account is like, he's pretty close to getting to diamond, but he's on my strong leg.
Okay.
My volume is not balanced. Like I'm not maxing out my diamond at all, like not even close. So I'm just wondering, like right now we were going to try to just get him to diamond so I could go 1-star. But now I'm thinking, should I just focus on building my weak leg so that my volume is more balanced and I can benefit more from team cycles?
Right. Great question. So that would come down to, okay, what are my goals right now? Basically, do I want 1-star for maybe you're, I don't know, going for like a summit recognition, or, you know, or your hubby has good volume each side. Let's get him to $18 so he can maximize the team cycles too. Or is it a situation where I don't really need the 1-star quite yet? Hubby's volume isn't really there yet. I want to maximize my volume weak leg. Okay, I'm going to go weak leg and load that. So it'd just be evaluating, okay, what are my goals right now? And after it that way.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, that helps a lot.
And you can always post in the Diamonds group and like explain your situation more too. And I can give like further feedback as well.
Okay.
When you guys talk about having even legs, you mean like one person, right? Like all the way down?
Or just in terms of volume, like you would have even numbers on both sides. So I have like 1,000 volume on my left and like 1,000 on my right, or give or take, then the volume is the same on each side. So some people are like that, or some people are like me where say I have like 10,000 on my strong leg and like 1,000 on my weak leg. Some people are like that. They're super uneven. So it just depends on the situation.
So it depends how many active coaches you have.
Not necessarily. It depends how many, because you could have 100 coaches on one leg, and if they all do nothing and only do volume, but say you've got a rock star on the other leg that produces a ton of volume, that's going to be a higher volume leg. So it doesn't necessarily mean the number of coaches. That's why when I post our volume graphics or Success Club graphics in the groups, I say 500 PV per month is a great goal to have. I'm sort of starting to get it in their minds to have that 500. Why? Because I have the video from Milan Jensen in my online training website, but she did a video of how she grew her business. Her coach ID is number 1. She literally was like the first coach to sign up in this business. She's 60 years old. Her view on the business is just really good. And she believes in creating, what has she called it? Not Emerald, but 5 TV coaches. She said your goal is just to develop 500. If you do that, your volume and your business is going to grow. So Emerald Factories, yes, and 500 PV coaches. So like I said, a coach that's there produces 0 volume is not going to contribute. But if you have multiple coaches producing volume, that's when it comes. So it doesn't necessarily the number of coaches. It means if they're producing volume or not. The volume, I mean, it's kind of a correlation, right? Give or take, if you keep adding coaches, the volume is going to increase whether some produce or not. Does that help?
Morgan, can your third CBC go in your first business center?
I wish it could.
Are you sure? Are you like 100% positive? Because
I asked because your second CBC is the one going 2-star, right? So it has to be sponsored by that 2-star account.
Gotcha. Because I was talking with
Yeah.
she was saying that Pat Reelman said that it could go in your first center.
I mean, it'd be worth asking again, but I'm like 99.9% sure it cannot. It'd be great if it could.
I don't know. I don't know the right answer. That's why I was asking again.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it can't. Any other questions?
Pat Reelman just does have some sneaky stuff up his sleeve, so you just never know.
Okay, we will wrap up, but obviously this volume, it comes up for different people at different times. Legs can flip-flop, all that stuff. But like I said, now that you know a bit about it, always feel free to screenshot it and either post it in Diamonds if it's a little more advanced, if it's simpler success covered. You can message me personally, but sometimes it helps to post it in so that other people can see the answer because they're probably wondering too. So, all right. Sounds good. Let's wrap up, guys. We'll see you later.